Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you watched yesterday's video, that was a shit show. I did a whole video about fuckboys. I thought it was gonna be an advice, love, relationship Q&A, and then it turned into just the first question, which was about fuckboys. And I dedicated a whole video to fuckboys, and that is not okay, because I want to answer other nicer questions as well. So I thought I would do an extra little video this week and just answer the rest of the questions. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of the questions that you guys asked about love, relationships. Some of them are just for me, like my personal opinion, and then some of them are advice. So yeah, I asked you to ask me questions on Instagram and Tumblr. I will leave both of those down below if you ever want to ask me anything. Okay, let's get into the question. Okay, so the first question is, have you ever gotten your heart broken, and do you have any advice for how to get over it? Okay, I have gotten my heart broken before a few times, like twice. That was like, you know, really hurtful. And it sucks. It really sucks. But how to get over it? I think the best thing that you can do, first of all, is to get away from that person in all aspects. So whatever reminds you of that person, get rid of it. Don't listen to songs that remind you of that person. Don't stalk them on the internet. Honestly, if you have trouble with that, just block them. Whatever, who cares? Don't continue talking to them and trying to, like, I don't know, get a sense like they still care about you, because, you know, it's done. Like, the relationship or a thing that you had with that person is done. Second tip is to allow yourself to be sad. Get out how you're feeling, because if you don't, it's just gonna drag on for much longer than it needs to. And when I got my heart broken the first time, I was just like, oh, this isn't supposed to make me feel so upset. And I was just like embarrassed that I was heartbroken, so I never talked about it. I never dealt with it, and then it just dragged on for so long. I hated it. So just talk about it, get it out. If you don't want to talk about it to your friends or whoever you usually talk to, you can write about it. Just let yourself feel sad and realize that it's okay to feel upset. You know, even if you weren't in an actual relationship with the person, even if you just like the person and you realize that they didn't like you back and nothing happened between you two, that still hurts, and it's okay to feel hurt. It is completely okay. Your feelings are valid, and however you feel, like, you feel that way for a reason, so you should just allow yourself to feel that way and get it out, so it doesn't just drag on, because trust me, it's gonna drag on. I've been there. It's horrible. Also, the thing that helps me a lot is when I end something with a person, I'm like, okay, this time that I spent with this person, just like thinking about them, talking to them, whatever, I can now spend on myself and my passions and everything that I want to do and work on myself. And I don't know, I feel like it's like something ended, but it's also a new beginning, and I try to look at it that way, and it is really helpful. And when you work on yourself and your self-love and self-worth and all that, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to get over that, because when you really like love yourself and care about yourself, you don't get this sense of I need someone to be there for me, because you have yourself. So yeah, that's a huge thing that I think helps me the most. And then also just time. Honestly, time heals a lot of things, so just be patient. And yeah, how do you know that you're ready for sex? Do you think age is important? First of all, do you guys want me to do a whole video on like losing your virginity and sex and all that? I'll gladly do that. Okay, first of all, I think age is important, and I'll get to that. How I think you know that you're ready is when thinking about having sex with that person isn't like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like that's horrifying. You know, obviously it's gonna be a little intimidating because it's your first time doing something that is very intimate, and it's normal to feel a little anxious and intimidated, but there should be like a large part of you that's like excited about it and wants to do it. Also, I think that you should think about if worst case scenario happens. For example, if the guy that you have sex with ends up being a complete asshole and never talks to you again, obviously that would hurt anyone, but if that would mess up your self-worth and your confidence and your self-love and how you view sex and relationships and all that, then I don't think you are ready. And I feel like in that case, age is important, because I feel like that, knowing yourself so much and having a lot of self-love and self-worth, I think a lot of that comes with age, and experience and all that. That's why I think age is important. And next question, do you prefer a relationship where you spend most of the time with that person, or a relationship in which most of the time you are separate? I am the type of person who needs a lot of alone time. I need to do my own shit. I need to have time to think, take care of myself, be creative, do whatever I need to do, hang out with my friends, all that. So I would never be happy in a relationship that's like we spend all of our time together. I definitely need, you know, my alone time. But I also, when you really, really like someone, you want to spend a lot of time with them because you're like obsessed with each other. So I get both sides, but I think both can be pretty unhealthy. So finding a nice balance is key. What do you think makes someone a good lover? I think just someone who is genuine and honest and caring and loving are the best qualities in a lover, because that means they actually genuinely care about you and you feel like you can trust them, and I don't know, you're not scared that you're gonna get hurt if someone is constantly, you know, showing you that they care and that they love you. So yeah. How do you feel about labeling a relationship? Do you think it's necessary, or do you find it unnecessary? I think it's important just to feel like secure and to know that you're on the same page, because one of the worst things is when you think like this thing is exclusive and then they're like, you know, not being that way back is just really hurtful. So I think having that conversation is important. Do you think love is complicated? Yeah, I do, because I mean, we as individuals are complicated, very complicated. And so when you bring two people together in any kind of relationship, it is complicated. It's like two separate people who probably had completely different backgrounds and had completely different experiences, and trying to work that out can be difficult and complicated, and not complicated necessarily in a bad way. Okay, the last question, or I guess questions. What would be your ideal relationship and first date? What do you look for in people you want to date? Love you. Love you too. Okay, so I guess for the first date, I don't necessarily care what I do on the first date. Like, we can go on a walk, we can just sit and get a drink. I don't, like, that doesn't really concern me, whatever. For me, first of all, feeling like I have a connection with someone is the first thing, I guess. And also just having good conversations. And I think one of the things that I get really attracted to, especially on a first date, is that I can, you know, in that night or day, whenever the date is, I can talk to that person in a really like fun way, and we can have fun conversations and laugh. But then we can also talk about more serious things and deep topics, so I can actually get to know the person. That's very important for me to feel connected to someone, because I am a very sensitive, emotional person, and I talk about that a lot. Okay, and then what would be your ideal relationship, and what do you look for in people you want to date? So the qualities that I mentioned before, which is that someone's loving and caring and honest and genuine. Those qualities are really important in a relationship, in any relationship for me. And I guess I just want a relationship where I can feel like I can truly trust the person, I can be completely myself with them, and they accept me for that, and I feel completely loved and I don't have any doubts about that. And also just someone that I can laugh with and have fun with, but also talk about serious things with. And yeah, someone who's passionate and smart and funny and all those great things. So yeah, and when it comes to looks, I don't really care, honestly. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will link my fuckboy video down below if you want to watch it, because I just filmed it before this video. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will speak to you in my next video. Bye!